Alright lads, welcome back to another Stogie Lads cigar review. Today we are rolling with a non-Cuban, very American cigar actually. The Brick House, Double Connecticut, or just Connecticut, by JC Newman. American family-owned company based in Tampa. Obviously they don't roll their cigars there. But what makes it so American, obviously not just the branding. They have Connecticut here and like an American flag themed footband. This is a Connecticut cigar, very traditionally so, that it's a Connecticut shade wrapper, as you can see by the creamy light colored wrapper here. But it's actually grown in the Connecticut Valley. So it is a true Connecticut shade wrapper. But the binder is a dark Connecticut broadleaf, also grown in Connecticut. So you have an American binder and an American wrapper. The fillers are Nicaraguan, but still, though, that is more American than most cigars on the market. It's hard. I mean, there are some American puros, obviously. You can grow them, but, you know, pretty American. And these are very affordable. They're like $9 US here in Sweden or so, which is pretty cheap. This is the Robusto. That's also very American, I should say, because this is a 5-inch cigar and it's 54 ring gauge. I'm not a big fan of calling a 54 ring gauge cigar a Robusto. Even 52 is sort of pushing it. 54, I mean, it's not really that close. 54 is kind of a lot bigger. You know, if this was 48, they'd probably call it a Corona Gorda. So I don't know, a little bit weird. So it is a thicker cigar. It's got a gorgeous wrapper. The pre-draw that I just tried before, lots of like peanuts and nice flavors. This is supposedly, as mentioned, not as light because of that American Connecticut broadleaf binder. Because Connecticut broadleaf, for those who don't know, it's usually a very dark and sort of heavy, very flavorful tobacco, which is nice. It's nice that I always enjoy these Connecticut cigars being balanced with something heavier to create a lot of flavor, not going the traditional, you know, mellow, just, you know, heavy light route. Heavy light, it's kind of a oxymoron, but yeah, a lot of these Connecticut cigars usually push that light, mellow sort of marketing, and this doesn't really go the traditional sense, so I like that. All right, got a nice draw here. Let's try the first draw. Perfect draw. And I'm going to get back to you guys in the first third, because for me, all Connecticut cigars are identical in the first puffs. It's bitter, it's peppery. I don't know what it is, but there's something about Connecticut shade wrappers that when you puff them the first few puffs, they're always identical, and they're pretty bad. I don't like the first few puffs, but usually they'll open up, and hopefully this one will. So I'll get back to you guys pretty soon with my first thoughts. All right, lads, so about 15 minutes in here, into the first third. Nice flavor so far. There's a bit of a floral note, nice pronounced cedar note, kind of a lot of nuttiness as well, and that's what's highlighting this. A little bit of white pepper, and that bitterness disappeared very quickly. It's always the same, it seems to be. Construction wise, it's not amazing. I've had to touch it up on one side. It just doesn't really want to burn on one side. If I would have left it, I think it would have really gone nuts on here. Yeah, not great in that. I'm almost shocked every time like one of these non-Cubans from like a really respected company burns. I mean, obviously it's gonna happen, they're hand rolled, but you know, it's just so rare that it does. I'm liking the cigar though. It's kind of not that typical. It's not just cedar and pepper, and I mean, it's there, but there's more stuff. It's not just creamy, even though it is creamy. I mean, the floral stuff is nice. It's different, so I'm really enjoying it. We'll see by the midway point if this shifts even more. There's some interesting tobacco in here, like I said, so yeah, we'll see how this shifts, and get back to you guys soon. All right, so about half an hour in here, about halfway through the cigar, I guess. It's burning perfectly now. After like the touch-ups needed in the beginning, sometimes there's just like a weird knot or something that keeps it from burning right on one side, and when you get past that, it just releases. I mean, these are handmade products, stuff like that happens. It seems to be burning very well now. It's got a really white ash. You know, looks wise, this is an incredibly nice cigar. It's got that golden oily wrapper. It looks really super nice. Smoke wise, extremely creamy, nice sweetness entering more and more. It's still very nutty, so I would say it's a sweet and nutty profile, very creamy. The floral stuff has gone down a little bit. I'd say there's a bit more coffee entering, but it really is like that sweet and nutty flavor profile that's dominating throughout this. A tiny bit of wood cedar, but I think that's also sort of died down a little bit. My guess is that coffee-ish flavor that's coming through might be from that binder, but I'm not really tasting that Connecticut broadleaf too much. It just tastes like a normal Connecticut cigar, I'd say, so far. Still enjoying it very much though. I think that's, yeah, in general, yeah, that's the flavor profile so far. It's definitely medium bodied. It has been from the start until now still. It's not that very light Connecticut cigar. I'm not sure if I would have this in the morning. It depends how seasoned you are of a smoker, how heavy you like your cigars in the morning. I personally don't really smoke in the morning. It's like midday here. That's usually as early as I'll go. I like to have like at least lunch before my cigars. But yeah, it's solidly medium all the way through, which is yeah, nice, not tasteless at all. I'll get back to you guys in the end, give my final thoughts and all that stuff, of course, and see you guys soon. All right, into the final third here. You can see me behind the smoke. Yeah, it's burning well still, which is nice. Lots of smoke output, as you can tell. Flavor wise, it's pretty much continued. It is very heavily nutty, one of the nuttier cigars I've had in a long time. And I'd just say that the sweetness is subsiding, and the wood is entering heavier. A little bit of a darker wood type note now than the cedar in the beginning. Other than that, pretty much the same. It's kind of a casual cigar. So a lot of Connecticut's are, in my opinion. So, you know, I've gotten a solid hour out of it as a cigar this size should be. Stayed medium bodied from the first light to this, so very much like a consistent cigar in the grand scheme of things. If I had to score this, I'd give it an 88. It's up there in very good. It's not quite excellent. It's very clean, the flavors are very nice, but it's just, it lacks a lot of complexity. But this is one of the nicer Connecticut cigars, I must say. I'm not a huge Connecticut fan, so that 88 is kind of a nice score, to be honest. I think this is a cigar that, if you don't really love Connecticut's, you can still really enjoy, because it's not that super light cigar. And if you do like Connecticut's, this could be a good, you know, later in the day sort of evening cigar. If you don't really like the heavier stuff, this is a heavier Connecticut, still not really that heavy though. So I think in that sense, it's pretty good. For the price, it's solid. I think I can recommend people to try this one out. In the US, it's probably even cheaper than here in Sweden, of course. And it's a good quality cigar. JC Newman's a nice quality brand, and you know, I wasn't expecting anything less. So yeah, pretty enjoyable all in all. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.